Well, I know it's been a long time coming. This is the update video. A lot of people want to know what's going on with Calexit. We are going to be refiling the initiative, and we have massive plans for the future. Very quickly, not to draw down on it, but for the last 2.5 to 3 months, we've been reforming a Calexit corporation that can survive the long-term struggle the movement will need. Many times over the last 10 years, we had gotten attention, then we organized everybody together, then we do some grassroots organizing, and we try to collect all the signatures organically. And we get close, but we didn't always pull it off. This time we said, let's do it differently. Let's build a permanent foundation, a long-term structure that can go the distance and that operates like successful political campaigns so that we're not basically just doing the same thing over again each reiteration. We had some new opportunities and we went for it. Now, we did spend a lot of time with that, and that means we have to refile. But the way that we look at it is I can start the race with the full 5.5 months and already having trained for the Olympian athlete contest. I got new shoes and I've been hydrating myself. So what's the difference between coming into an Olympic race halfway through or being in perfect shape and starting at the beginning? The difference in winning. That's what we're talking about. So let me show you what's coming up and why you should still be excited about Calexit. With us here is JJ Ames. He'll be doing a commentary. This is a commentary video, so he hasn't seen everything either. JJ Ames has 40 years experience. He's a DC insider. We're going to show him, as we show you, all our big plans for the future. Also, this is going to be in the mass email many of you are getting specifically from me. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing to cover is we got a press release out. And the press release talks about how Calexit announces a plan to refile bid for California to secede from the United States. And here's the actual press release. I won't read it in full. I'll just cover highlights. We're not going to turn in signatures. We're going to refile and implement increased fundraising and educational strategies to ensure that we can collect the requisite number of signatures. Part of the problem was that we were working with a lot of grassroots activists. Our goal has always been to hire professional signature gatherers on top of organic signature gathering. No organization has filed an initiative through purely organic signature gathering since the late 1980s, if not a decade earlier. You always have to have at least some professionals. So we're reorganizing to do that. Calexit founder, President Mark Ruiz Evans, who founded the mission in 2014, said refiling is the right course of action. We are grateful for all the Calexit supporters who contacted us, signed petitions, helped collected them. Their efforts helped us get very close to this goal. I started this movement more than 10 years ago, and this is the closest we've ever gotten. The momentum is perfect. Launching pad for refiling. Ruiz Evans credits CEO Dr. Xavier Mitchell, who joined in February and has experience running multiple publicly traded companies for substantial progress the organization has made over the past 3 months. For the first time, Calexit has hired a professional campaign director with experience running another radical political campaign, hired a professional press manager, hired a high-level fundraiser, was given a free pass to the California Democratic Convention, where he met almost all the major candidates, including multiple candidates for governor, multiple assembly and Senate candidates. Calexit is now better positioned to gather the necessary signatures to appear in 2028. When I saw the news in January that Calexit had been cleared to begin signature collecting, I contacted them to be involved, said Dr. Xavier. We have spent the past 3 months building out every skill set that would be needed to provide a professional and successful signature gathering campaign in California. We're just getting started. Mitchell leverages his decades of experience raising capital, securing partnerships, and leading teams to help Calexit achieve its goal. On July 26th, Calexit will co-host an exclusive event featuring 50 influencers with a minimum of 1 million followers each, collectively reaching over 100 million followers to promote the Calexit movement. Additionally, Calexit has been named as the theme of the upcoming Film Faster 48-hour film festival competition, where multiple aspiring filmmakers will be given 48 hours to make a film promoting Calexit. Calexit will also unveil the details of an 8-week educational tour traveling from San Diego to the state capitol, culminating with speeches. Calexit received an affirming, welcoming response to the California Democratic Convention. Quote, we did so well at promoting Calexit at the convention that on the second day, people were coming up to us and saying, we heard about you. A week after lobbying the convention, Calexit began receiving calls from multiple elected officials asking for private one-on-one meetings to discuss how they could help Calexit. That was after the Marines were sent in. Other accomplishments include launching the Cali Nation cryptocurrency token with a world-recognized expert in creating crypto, a text campaign to 1 million Californians who never heard of Calexit before. That means 1 million Californians who never heard of Calexit got the Calexit petition. And then there was an additional 230,000 additional Californians who had never gotten the petition or emailed it. We're also in direct contact with major players in the Democratic Party behind the scenes, directly lobbying them to support an official California government investigation into the feasibility of Calexit. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, but we did want to make sure that we told everybody that we're not just refiling, but that we're refiling so that we can be more successful next time, and that we have a bunch of events coming up in the middle ground to help promote this. Here's the good news. The news largely picked it up. So we got CBS television from San Francisco covered this. There was also CBS radio, and then there was CBS Bay Area, also covered by MSN News. Additionally, Courthouse News Service also covered this. Now, all four of those news organizations mentioned that we're refiling, but they also mentioned that we have gigantic plans for the future. So let's cover some of what those big plans are. It's not just that we're refiling, it's that we're refiling and we have massive publicity events coming that will change the game all on their own. So what's the first one? It's the influencer event. One night, 50 influencers. Each influencer has 1 million followers, and they will all be promoting Calexit. It's a quote from me. There's never been a promotion event like this for Calexit in 10 years. Now, in the mass email that you're going to get, you're going to have access to the website, the commercial, and the pitch deck. Let me show you a little bit about this event. This is the ad you'll see. An event designed to break the internet. 50 influencers with 1 million followers each. We're looking for about 100 million followers, all watching a Calexit event on one night. You've never even had one influencer with 1 million followers do this. We'll have 50, and they'll all be doing it on the same night. And from what we can tell in the industry, nothing like this has ever been done in entertainment or in the political sphere, ever. Here's a little bit more about it. DTR Calexit Influencer Party is going to be hosted by Dusty the Rapper, who has 7.1 million followers himself on Instagram. There he is with Ice Cube and Too Short, a famous rapper for the Bay Area, famous rapper for SoCal. Now, those rappers won't be at the event, only Dusty. Well, maybe. His name is Dusty the Rapper. He has an audience of about 1835, globally based in the U.S. He already has brand collaborations, the Palm Sprees, Airlines, Yamova, F1 Formula, Viet Network. Now, he's already talking about getting free pizzas, champagne, cannabis products, hats at this event. The DTR Calexit Influencer Party is a high-impact, invite-only experience designed to blend content creation with civic purpose, featuring high-level influence, top-tier entertainment, and media activation. We got a little bit more. Some of the event highlights: red carpet entrance and media wall, live DJ, comedy hour, Why We Calexit, creator studio, interview room, interactive visual arts and fashion showcase, cannabis, EV, and lifestyle brand pop-ups with free material being sent in, and then Dusty's signature dance challenge launch. There's a picture of Dusty and then some of our staff. What's the audience reach? We're looking at 50 influencers, 1 million followers each, combined reach an estimated 80 million to 100 million impressions. Live content strategies on Instagram Live, TikTok Dance Challenge, Real-Time Creator Studio. Demographics include Gen Z and Millennials, BIPOC, that's Black, Interracial, and People of Color, meaning Indigenous, African American, and Latino youths. Urban, that's, Latin, mostly Latin, African American, Southeast Asian. And then civic-minded groups. Finally, there's a little bit more all put together. There's Dusty wearing his California hat. He's big on California. And I got to tell you, talking to Dusty, he is down Never thought about Calexit before. Dr. X approached him, and in about a week, Dusty was all about it. I've managed to meet him a few times since. He's talking our Calexit talking points. And when we were talking about how you don't need to necessarily have, you do need to have a vote, but an easy way to get a win is to tell politicians, you don't have to back Calexit. You just have to say that people need to be informed by having an official blue ribbon panel investigation. I was talking to him at dinner, and he totally got how that's an easy ask for politicians. They don't have to back it, they have to back a study. Completely got it. Okay, let's go to number 2. Film Fest. Only Calexit Movies, 30 filmmakers, movie premiere night, winning film in theaters around California. So what they're going to do is you get 48 hours to make a movie. The movies can only be about Calexit. We've already turned in subject matters to the person. We're working with somebody who's done 17 to 25 of these events already around America. So we have an expert. You're going to give out 30 to 100 aspiring filmmakers. You'll tell them you can make a Calexit movie. You have 48 hours to do it. Then there will be a movie premiere night where at a theater, they're going to show nothing but Calexit movies. That's never happened before. Then the winning film will be shown in movie theaters around California. A lot of art house theaters exist in every city in California. I live in Fresno, and we have an art house theater. There will be a Calexit movie shown in every art house city, in every art house theater in every city in California, and there'll be a Calexit movie premiere night. Also, neither one of those have ever happened. Something big is coming, right? That's for the influencer event. A little bit more. There's also the influencer event. You can find it online if you want. But here's something about the Film Fest. What if you had just 48 hours? It's going to be led by Hollywood heavyweight Brian Oliver. He's actually in Hollywood. It's backed by New Republic Pictures, which is a major movie studio, and produced by Providence Film Group, which is a major film production group. Here's the page where you can find out more. Film Faster 48. You register, you receive your material and the props, you shoot in 48 hours, and you win big. These aspiring filmmakers can get $5,000, and they can get a producer credit in a major movie like Transformers or Mission Impossible. I'm not exaggerating. Dr. X has those kind of contents. So if you're talking to an aspiring filmmaker and you go, hey, how'd you like to get billing in the next Transformers movie or the next Tom Cruise movie? It's a big pull. So we expect a lot of talented people rushing to make these movies. Again, nothing like that has ever happened before, ever. All right, let's go to number 3, lobbying Sacramento. Now, we've been at this for a long time. And one of the things that we've realized in the last couple months is that you do need to have a vote and you do need to raise awareness and educate people. But one of the easiest solutions we found is if you can just get the Sacramento government to have just seven out of about 80 to 100 legislators support a blue ribbon panel, that would be global shockwaves. When I've talked to people like JJ and our political director and other people, they would say, look, if the world's 4th largest economy announced that their government was looking into secession, even if they didn't think it would work, just officially looking into it, that's global news. That's shockwaves. Everybody in California will be talking about it. Low hanging fruit. And as Dusty the Rapper pointed out, they don't have to back Calexit. They have to back educating the voters. You could say, I have my reservations about Calexit. I'm not sure. I'm a patriotic American. But when they sent in the Marines and they wanted to arrest our governor, that's scary and destabilizing. Out of nothing but sheer logic and concern for the lives of 40 million people, we must investigate this. I don't know what to think. That's why we're going to have experts look into it. Easy sell. Now, in the email, you're going to see the press release, an article on Dr. Harmon and Dr. Harmon Speak. Here's why. So, Dr. Harmon has been named as the Calexit Initiative Committee Chair. She's a major influencer with the California Democratic Party Black Caucus. We also were invited to spend time at the California Democratic Party and speak at the California Democratic Party Black Caucus. That was because of Dr. Xavier and Dr. Harmon. Harmon has officially agreed to be on Calexit. Let me show you why this is big. That's Dr. Harmon with Tony Atkins, the most famous LGBTQ politician in California, running for governor. That's also Shirley Weber, the third most powerful politician in the world's fourth largest economy. That's Barbara Lee, one of the most famous Congress members out of California. And that's Joe Biden. Yeah, all hugging her. Word on the streets was that when Kamala Harris came to California to campaign, she had to go see and get a blessing from Miss Harmon first before she campaigned. Now, who's that on the right? Well, it's Miss Harmon with Mark Ruiz Evans and Dr. Xavier. So here's somebody standing with the top LGBTQ politician, top politicians in California now, the former president, and active members in Congress. And she said, I'm going to join the Calexit board officially, and I'll be seen hanging out with you guys. So just so you get the kind of connections she's got, here's a little bit more. You can look it up. They know Miss Harmon. There were photos of Harmon as a younger woman and pictures of her posing with famous politicians, including president and vice president. We in our community have benefited from her leadership for many years, said San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria. They know Miss Harmon well at City Hall. They know Miss Harmon in Sacramento and at the White House, end quote. Host of other elected officials who owe their seats in some measure to Harmon's work in the Democratic Party in San Diego statewide also toasted the political activists. They include Shirley Weber, Assembly Member Akilah Weber, San Diego Council Member Monica Montgomery Stepp, and Malia M. Cohen of the State Board of Equalization. Most said that Harmon's backing and the groundswell of community support she commends helped them succeed in office. So here's somebody who's known in Sacramento, federal government, San Diego. Kamala Harris has to know her. She knows Biden. She knows people in office. People owe their elected positions to her. And she said, I'm going to help you lobby with the blue ribbon panel. And I'm going to officially join Calexit. So now we have an access to lobbying like we've never had before. All right, let's go to number 4. DC Insider is working with us and talking with us. There he is. Nice guy. Here's a picture of him with my favorite quote ever. The road to fascism is lined with people telling you to stop. So J.J. Ames has been a political scientist, instructor, American government, general political consultant, 30 years, managing 75 campaigns at every level. He's also served as executive speechwriter to 5 cabinet level employees. And now he's messing around with us, telling us how do you do the right messaging for Calexit. This is huge. We actually have somebody who's in DC saying, forgive me here, hey, we can redevelop the message. When in the email, you can see his LinkedIn, his Blue Sky, and an interview already did with him. One of the top advisors to presidents of high-ranking officials is now, well, let me change that quote. It's now completely directed to Calexit. I'll fix the quote. Here we go. Let's go to 5.6. We're also looking to get 1 million signers of an online petition. In addition to using the legal process, we want to create a massive support for Calexit and a number too big for anyone in Sacramento to ignore. We think that with the influencer event and the film fest, we can get enough attention to get 1 million online signatures. A lot of people wanted to sign online. They found it more cumbersome to print. We said, well, you got to do that. So we thought, well, what if we made it easy for people to sign online, and then we could show Sacramento 1 million Californians demand a blue ribbon panel or demand the vote or both. The other thing is the Calexit app is coming where you can register. Now, let me show you a little bit about that. Here's the petition. You can go to change.org, Empowering California's Future. You can find out how to support that petition. Also, here's a little, we're not there yet. Here is the app that we're roughly looking at. So you can register, download the petitions, find out events, and register. There's never been a Calexit app before. There's never been an online petition with over 10,000 signatures. If we knock those two out, that's pretty huge. Finally, the pack to launch. We're going to be launching a pack, and we're going to be using context in the film industry to create a commercial for the pack. This is huge. So we've recently identified a pack used to convert Republicans that we really like the model for, and we're going to copy that for our landing page. We're developing that text now. We've already filed the pack, got the EIN, got the bank account number, and I believe the other thing. We're just putting that all together, waiting for the final I's to be dotted, T's crossed. But here's the big deal. From DC Insider, JJ Ames, the day that a Calexit pack commercial is played on YouTube or TV, everyone will know that Calexit has made it. Now, that's a version of what he had said. It basically, people are trained to see certain things and go, oh, must be legit. Here's a commercial on TV, on YouTube for a Calexit pack. If you know that packs are the way that politicians play, and if you can attach Calexit to it, and if you can have the commercial look professional and the landing page, apparently the sky will open up and manna will fall, because you're not supposed to be able to do that if you're a ragtag bunch who doesn't understand the political system. When you do things like have a pack commercial, or famous people who know Democrats push the blue ribbon panel, it begins to tell people you know what the hell you're doing. So let's review. Why should you sponsor Calexit? Why should you be hanging out with us? We've accomplished more than any Calexit group in 10 years in just 2.5 months. Like I've been saying, we've done this a couple times. We would always file the petition. We would go meet people, collect signatures, hold rallies, take pictures, but it would all be a bunch of social media activism trying to get people on the streets to just collect more signatures. In the last 2.5 months, we've done something no one's done in 10 years. We formed a corporation, and we've prepared for the long-term struggle. We've held a fundraiser that raised thousands. We brought on a high-level Democrat to publicly be part of Calexit. We've started directly lobbying Democrats in office and running for office for a blue ribbon panel investigation on Calexit. We've hired a professional CEO with a track record of 6 companies, a CFO who's been around 20 years, a publicist who goes back to the Biggie Tupac dilemma and started that, and a political director who was at the End of Life campaign, which was a 10-year-long very radical campaign. We've also created a cryptocurrency to fund this. And we've also sent text messages out to 1 million Californians who are uncontacted and 300,000 emails to Californians who are uncontacted. Our plans for the future include hosting an online influencer event that will break the internet. A famous rapper will join 50 influencers each with 1 million followers and promote Calexit on one spectacular night. A film fest for young people making movies to promote Calexit, and the winning film appears in theaters around Cali. Announcing politicians that we have lobbied are approving a blue ribbon panel on Calexit. Announcing Calexit will be co-campaigning with high-level Democrats as they campaign for re-office, also advertising Calexit along with them, and an online petition of 1 million Californians backing Calexit. Now, look, I know that everybody wanted to hear that we got the signatures and we turned it in. Like I told the news, I think we did collect the signatures. The problem was that we wanted to raise about 1 to 2 million, maybe 5 at minimum, so that we could hire professional signature gatherers. Professional signature gatherers know how to get the signatures right and know how to match the address. Volunteers, even though trying their hardest, will make mistakes. They're new to it. Most people have never messed with the petition process, so they're going in first time cold, first time ever. Because of that, we said the actual amount of signatures we need is not 550, it's 750,000, because you could expect to have 1 to 200,000 invalidated. We thought we might be able to get the 550 by the deadline, and then people would think we definitely got a win, and then 200,000 signatures would be invalidated after we told them we turned it in and we had the number, and then people would be confused and disappointed. It was not an easy decision to make. I was a big influence, but it wasn't only mine. The decision was, let's not confuse people and let's not tell them we have a win when we can't guarantee it. Let's refile, let's be properly prepared, and let's tell them that we can definitely win this time once you see everything we've done, everything we've accomplished, and everything we've planned, and that we've done it in 2.5 months. I've been here 12 years. We've never done one of the things I've talked about in the last 25 minutes in 10 years. Not one. Now we're doing 7 in 2.5 months. That's why I think you should still be here. I'm going to shut up and I'm going to turn to JJ. JJ, did I do horrible? The future looks horrible. Would you look at this and go, I got to go? I thought you guys knew I got to get out of here. Or are we doing okay?
I don't think there's any way that the future looks horrible. I think that we start from the perspective of this can be done. Not that it's a dead rocket solid loser. This can be done, and I think that the steps that have been taken so far, uh, and the events that are projected, really commendable and more than commendable. And I think we're in a situation now where it's the foundation for the house is rock solid. Now we just have to put the rest of the building together, and you're off to a great start. With the events that are planned already. I made a couple of notes.
And I did not pay you to say that.
No.
And you have worked in DC, and this is your honest opinion.
These are my honest opinions, and I'll tell you that the starting off with the first event was the influencer event.
Yeah.
Just
Hit me.
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. It's something that my comment was great in all caps with 2 exclamation points and underlined 3 times. So I will say one thing about that.
Do it.
The presentation must include the ask for dollars. And there has to be a portal so that they don't have to go anywhere, do anything. Boom, that's it. Tie the contributions either through an aggregating entity or through a 501c4, which was going to be my question was in terms of the incorporation of Calexit. Is Calexit a 501c4?
It is an LLC, and it's also being filed as the 501c4. I think they turned in Form 410 to Secretary of State Weber a month and a half ago.
Great, because that 501c4 opens up many other avenues for prosecuting this entire campaign. So much better to be in a 501c4 situation. But on the influencer event, fantastic concept, especially because it targets the group that comes out the least and who are probably more persuadable than any other group at this stage of the game. So I think that's obviously a fantastic circumstance. The film festival, very again, great event in and of itself, but it will draw not only people, all of the people who are producing these films. Maybe the name brand, the name at the top will be a Californian, but they may be bringing other people in from other parts of the country to participate in the production, which just exposes the concept to a broader audience of people. So a great opportunity to really do quite well in that regard. Also on the film festival, after the winning film is chosen, let's not limit ourselves to theaters. Let's also begin right now in the process of forming alliances with community organizations, with churches, with unions, with whoever else, and then have those organizations also do a film night, a premiere night for that as well. If you're talking about maybe having access to 200 or 300 theaters max under any circumstances, probably more like 50 to 75. But then if you throw in those alliances that have been formed, you have it's like 1,000 PTAs having the PTA night at the same time, but they're looking at your film. So if we can form those alliances with these other entities in advance of the film, of the winning film being named, then we could also be dragging these other partners in, not only to that, but once they become married to the concept, they've got something invested in it. Of course, then we hopefully will be able to expand their participation somewhere down the road.
Lobby.
Also, before I even get to that, one more thing on Film Festival. An element in most film festivals, an element of the determination as to who wins is how many people have you brought out to the film festival to support your cause. So an element of that winning film, that determination, should very easily be how many people are coming out to support you and your film at the same time. So that's just another way of everything. Everything I'm talking about here is another way to expand the scope, another way to expand the audience. Why show a movie to 12,000 people when you can can show it to 120,000 people, and you have a better opportunity to do that. The chances of somebody actually getting off the couch, getting the car, driving to a theater for any event. I mean, theaters are in the toilet right now anyway. But on it, having the people get off the couch, get in the car, and drive to their school, their church, their union hall, it's a much easier ask. It's a much lighter ask. And so the theater idea, fantastic. I'm just sort of building on that foundation, putting the second floor on the house.
Oh yeah.
The lobbying, essential, absolutely essential. You have to look like you belong in the ballpark before you can get in the game, and that's where we are right now. If this lobbying effort, I mean, Dr. Harmon. Hey, what else can anybody say about Dr. Harmon? I mean, you can't put a price on that level of experience, that degree of networking, that base upon which to draw down from, and whatever it is that you might need at any given time. Fantastic play, great play. The million signatures online. It's a good way to continue to broaden the base. There are people who will look at the petition online that would never take a handout from somebody on a street corner, or that would never be interested in answering the door if you were knocking on it from a petition purposes, from a petition standpoint. So I think it's a great deal. You might get a little blowback from people saying, "Well, how can you validate their status as a Californian online?" You don't care. If they were a million people from Brooklyn who responded, it would still be a million responses. So anybody who's going to try to use something to knock it down, we'll just find more ways to build it back up. I don't think it's critical that we verify, the specific residences in California. I just think that for a petition drive, an online petition drive, the name of the game is numbers, 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 numbers. I mean, what would the response be of somebody if somebody said, "Well, they're not all from California," and your response was, "Yeah, but there are 19 million of them."
Right.
So that's the point. See, and on that petition drive, as a strategist, I don't necessarily care if it's a person from Anaheim who really wants there to be an independent sovereign nation, or if it's a person from Mobile, Alabama, who just wants to get rid of California. The numbers are still the numbers. So there's a point from a petition drive. It would be fantastic if every signer could be isolated as a California resident. But I'm less worried about that because I think broader scope always gives bigger numbers. And again, the bigger you look, the bigger your miss will be. That's the story. You'll be the man, the myth, the legend. With 19 million signatures, okay, so 725,000 came from California, or 75,000 came from California. Bottom line is, you got 19 million signatures. That's the bottom line.
You can't balk at that.
Yeah. Let's see. Did we do anything else?
DC Insider joins. Is that a good move to show that we're credible people?
Yeah, it is. DC is.
I know, but still.
Yeah. Well, it's done. Today, it's a necessary evil. 18 months from now, it may not be, but today it's a necessary evil. And I think the more people, again, it goes back to the more people that you have in the organization who know how to get around DC on the subway.
Right.
You're that much better off because it's just what people are going to think of the organization is really going to be determined in part by how effective the insiders in the organization can maneuver in areas where that is necessary.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Having a political action committee, having a nice commercial that's studio quality, and a webpage that's the same level as other major PACs. Good move.
Absolutely essential. I mean, and two things. One, there would be the uh, Calexit now pack, and then we would also hopefully that would generate enough interest in the big money political community where a supporter might come in and establish their own super PAC, unaffiliated, unconnected, but functionally effective on our behalf. And so if we could, and one thing that will encourage that kind of money to get in the game is showing them that there's other money in the game. And
Right.
so the PAC, it's like, banks lend money to people who don't need it. That's
Yeah.
that's where
Right.
that's the situation that you're in right now, and that the organization is in. If the organization does a super PAC, establishes a PAC rather, not a super PAC, establishes a PAC, and then the film festival is successful, and the influencer event is successful, and the influencer event by itself raises $4 or $5 or $6 million. This is going to be impressive to the people who all of a sudden now have to think about, wait a minute, I might want to do business in an independent sovereign California. I better be on the right side of this thing. And that's where your super PAC comes from. Your super PAC is going to come from somebody who's a Wall Streeter who doesn't want the other Wall Streeters to get ahead of him in line to start dealing with the independent sovereign California. So there's many ways to package up all of these ideas so that each one is made stronger and better and more powerful and more effective by its relationship to the other.
Okay. We'll leave it there. So I want to keep it nice and relatively short. You all watch this. You got to see the big plans coming. JJ saw a little bit about this, but this is also its first impression. So you can see somebody on the inside looking at this. We're still there, and we're moving forward. Things aren't perfect, but we've actually grown, and we've grown in a depth I couldn't have imagined, and in a complexity I only dreamed of. And I feel we're on better footing now than ever. We've never done. The big point of this video is I wanted to point out to everybody that we're doing a lot of stuff we've never done. I've been in it 10 years. We've never done multiple of these things. Like basically everything you heard tonight, we've never done in 10 years, and every single one of them has been pulled off in 2.5 months. If you go by that trajectory, my God, what can we do in another 2 months? Right? Just, it's amazing. So give us a little bit of time. Be with us. I'll be announcing public meetings. JJ, thanks. I'll call you in a little bit.
Fantastic, my friend.
Appreciate it.